every day is different. Every video is different. But my passion will always be the same. This is Kai from Warshawn, aka Stormboy13, and the storm has arrived. Wow! Another dull summer's day. It's been like this all week. Looks like it's gonna rain again. Hi guys, Stormboy13. Got a new video out for you tonight, or today, whatever time you're watching this. Now, the title obviously, well, with this week's weather, it's going to be probably the opposite, but it's been the coldest July week I think I can ever remember. Probably not on record, but there you go. But I don't remember being a typical July week being colder than that. We've been below 16 degrees Celsius for 3 days in a row, just 17 today, 18 Monday, the average is 20 to 21. Yeah, that's pretty cold. Thanks to a cut-off area of low pressure, which brought a lot of rain. But anyways, that to the side. Today's video, we're going to be thinking ahead of global warming. Now, every single summer, we will get at least one heat wave per season. And also, always have a thought in our minds, could we ever reach 40 degrees Celsius before the end of this century? Well, I'm going to explain if that's even possible. Well, come with me and we'll find out. Right, let's get to business. So, every summer, like I've just pointed out, we will get at least one heat wave, and temperatures would typically be into the high 20s, and on most likely often cases, and of late, the low 30s. So, I'm going to go through year by year on the hottest day of the year. Now, I'm going to be doing it on my region in the East Midlands, and then the hottest place somewhere in the UK throughout the year. So, let's begin. So, in 2010, I'm just going to be focusing on my area first, in East Midlands. In 2010, the official temperature, according to Weather Underground and AccuWeather, actually not AccuWeather, sorry, it's always accurate, Sunrise and Sunset websites, links are on there if you're interested. 2010, we've had it wasn't actually clear which place was hotter, but both days on Sunday 23rd May and Sunday the 27th June 2010 in the East Midlands, and it actually doesn't seem that high if you think of it. We had 2 days but temperatures have reached 27 degrees Celsius. It was a year that we never really had any record-breaking high temperatures, although having said that, in late May, that'll be over 10 degrees above the average for that time of the year, so probably quite an extraordinary thing, but even that's not record-breaking. In 2011, the hottest day of the year, again, we actually had 2 days where we reached 29 degrees Celsius. So we had a heat wave at the end of September, but we didn't quite reach that figure. Monday the 27th of June and Wednesday the 3rd of August, both days again, we reached 29 degrees Celsius. That's 2 degrees warmer than it was in 2010. Then in 2012, it was a dreadful summer. We did manage a couple of warm days, we were very lucky. The warmest day of that year was on Tuesday the 24th of July, and we reached 28 degrees Celsius. That was probably the best part of the summer weather we've had. The rest wasn't that great. In 2013, we've had a prolonged July heat wave. Now, it wasn't actually in July, however. On Thursday, the 1st of August 2013, the hottest day of the year reached 31 degrees Celsius, and that's quite a bit of a jump compared to last year. Not quite as high in 2014, but we've had a persistently warm summer. The hottest day of the year occurred on 2 days, well, for the East Midlands that is, Friday 18th of July and Saturday 26th of July. Both days temperatures reached 28 degrees Celsius. August, not a great summer holidays if you think of it. 2015 wasn't a great summer, but it was a certainly remarkable record-breaking July day until last year, more on that in a sec. 1st of July 2015 we reached 33 degrees Celsius, and that was the day I went DAV camping. That'll be a day I'll never forget. 2016, again, The temperatures were very, very high. It was an average summer, but when we had a heat wave on the 19th of July, we reached 31 degrees Celsius, that's 88 degrees Fahrenheit. 2017, temperatures a tad lower, the hottest day of the year, but we did manage several days. I think it was on the 18th and the 19th of June of 2017, we've reached 2 days in a row of 29 degrees Celsius. We've not quite reached the hottest June day on record, despite reports that we may get it. It never occurred, but still a very warm June and July, followed by a disappointing August, a bit similar to 2014. Then in 2018, that was the year we've had the hottest summer on record. The temperatures reached 32 degrees Celsius, and that was on the 26th of July. And that day, yeah, I can remember these particular dates well, went to the Caribbean, so didn't quite witness it, but then again, having said that, temperatures were very similar there. And finally, last year, I'm not going to do this year because you don't know what the hottest day of the year will be. Actually, nah, scratch that. I'll do this year as well. Last year, 2019, the hottest day on record, 25th of July, similar to this time last year, we reached 36 degrees Celsius, and I think it was near Sutton Bonington in South Nottingham, somewhere near there. And then this year so far, 28 degrees Celsius, a bit more typical, it was near the end of June. We had it on 3 days in a row so far. But we still got the second half of summer to go. We could still reach the low 30s, although I don't think we'll be getting it for at least 2 weeks. So already you're starting to see a little bit of a trend where the hottest day of the year slightly increases, particularly towards the second half of the 2010s decade. So don't maybe aside that global warming is well and truly on, particularly in the UK. Okay. Now that I've got the region out of the way, we're going to focus on the actual hottest places or for the hottest temperatures around the UK since 2010. Now I'm going to be absolutely honest, I can't quite remember every single place since 2010 that had the hottest place during that particular year, but I should know the temperatures. So now we're going to go through a bit of a trend from what it was from 2010 up to this year and wonder if it has been an upward trend. Let's see. Now let's officially begin. So we're going to start with 2010, thinking Gravesend in Kent. I think the temperatures that day on Friday the 9th of July, temperatures reached 31.7 degrees Celsius. In 2011, also in Gravesend in Kent, second year running, on the 27th of June, temperatures reached 33.4 degrees Celsius. I think so, but it was definitely 33. Then in 2012, either in Gravesend in Kent again, or I think it might be in Heathrow, I actually can't remember, but I believe the hottest day of the year in 2012 was 32.8 degrees Celsius, I think. And then in 2013, it was definitely in Heathrow, and it was recorded on the 1st of August. Temperatures had reached 34.1 degrees Celsius. Then in 2014, we didn't have any major heat waves, but we have had some persistently warm weather in June and July. Temperatures still managed to creep up to 32.6 degrees Celsius, I think, and that was in, again, either in Gravesend, Kent, or in Heathrow. And then by the time we got into 2015, can't quite remember the location, I'm really struggling, so it's on there in the captions, but I believe we reached 36.7 degrees Celsius, which beat the 2006 temperature. I think it was also 36.2 or 0.5. So quite extraordinary stuff. But then 2016 was the most unusual one. August was very close. It was only a few weeks before that. We haven't had any major heat throughout the summer of 2016. With just the odd heat wave in July and one in late August. But in September we've had 3 days in a row of 30 degree plus temperatures, which was extraordinary for September in the UK. But to reach 34 degrees, I believe it was 34.4 degrees Celsius, is extraordinary, and that's what happened again, I believe it's in the Kent area, not far from the London area. That was an unbelievable day. 13th September, 34 degrees this late in the year, incredible. 2017, the hottest June day we've had for 40 years. I believe that's again somewhere in the southeast of England. I actually can't remember the location. I think it's in southeast England. I'm not sure, to be honest, but the temperatures reached around 33 degrees Celsius, I believe. It was forecast to reach 35 degrees Celsius, but it never did. But it was still, would have been the hottest June day on record, but still, for about 4 decades, it was the hottest June day there. Then fast forward into 2018, bit similar. It was forecast to be the hottest day on record. Didn't quite happen in 2018, but we did reach 35 degrees Celsius. I think it's in the Norwich area actually that day. 35.2, I can't remember, but it was definitely no higher than 35 degrees Celsius. And then last year, although summer wasn't hot in 2019, we did have an extraordinary heat wave, and on the 25th of July, I think it's in the Cambridge area, we reached, and I know this one, 38.7 degrees Celsius, which was quite extraordinary. And then so far this year, I mean, it could be beaten though. We reached 33.4 degrees Celsius, and that was in I think it's near Gravesend in Kent. My mind's gone blank with the locations, but that's what we reached. It was back on the 25th of June a few weeks ago. So overall with the trends, it probably looks like overall the second half of the decade was also even hotter than it was during the first half of the decade. So we started at around overall with 32, 33 and about 33 to 35 near the mostly throughout the second half of the decade. So you can see the hottest day of the year looks like it's really increasing quite fiercely. So with that trend from 2010 to 2019, with the hottest day of the year across in the UK, I wonder, so by the time we get to the end of the century, could we actually reach up to 40 degrees Celsius? Well, as depressing as it sounds, I hope it doesn't put you off too much, but very few of us would be alive by the time we get to 2100. But what I could say is, I think the chances are, if we don't reduce the carbon emissions, because there's always a lot of activity going on right now, particularly in certain parts of the world, I think particularly in Asia, there is, I would say, about close to a 50% chance we could actually, probably don't want to achieve 40 degrees Celsius by the time we reach 2100. And I think probably about less than a 20% chance we could reach 40 degrees Celsius for several days in a row towards a good stretch of the UK, basically. So I think there might be because of the highest temperatures increasing slightly, and of course I've also got to mention the decade in the UK from 2010 to 2019 was one of the, if not the warmest since records began. That's what I've heard a couple months ago. So I think this is likely a trend that we are going to be seeing increasing temperatures for the foreseeable future. So that's the answer I would give you. Near 50% chance, my prediction, we may reach 40, well, the UK will reach 40 degrees Celsius by the time we approach into the next century. But there's also the other thing I kind of noticed is with the carbon emissions contributing factor to the rising temperatures, it's not just that, but also with the pollution levels. I think that also could be one of the factors which will be resulting of those rising temperatures. And also the government is urging people, I don't know whether this may be anything to do with global warming, but the government is also urging people not to travel on public transport or even in car, but to travel by bicycle or even walk if you can, or even take electric vehicles to improve the air quality, make it cleaner. There's also the thing with loads of trees is it keeps, according to they have trees up to keep those temperatures limited. If they come down, there's also a possibility with the trees, I don't know, to make a breeze or something. Without the trees, those temperatures will just rise all of a sudden. That could be one of the reasons. My terminology may be a bit off on those. But anyways, that's it for this video, guys. Hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, or whatever time you're watching this, or the next day. Like, comment, subscribe, take care, and stay safe as always. Pandemic's still out, storm is now out.